Excalibur Galatine. Excalibur Galatine, Sword of Revolving Victory, also known as Fairy Sword Galatine, is the shining sword that Gawain possesses. It is the sister sword of Excalibur, also originally owned by the Lady of the Lake, but it is not as well known as a holy sword and rarely mentioned due to having its legend hidden in the shadow of King Arthur's holy sword. While Excalibur collects the lights from the planet, Sir Gawain's holy sword is said to represent the rays of heat from the sun with a pseudo-sun contained in the hilt. Arthur has the providence of the night from the pedigree of the goddess of the moon, Alto and Artemis, and Gawain is the knight who receives the blessing of the sun. It is similar to its owner in that it shows its greatest power at noon, making visible the unsurpassed sharpness of the edge that sliced cleanly through both the shield and chainmail of the enemy Saracen soldier, Priamus. Differing from Excalibur's centralized slash of light that destroys castles, Galatine brings forth a broad wave, radiation-type attack that completely annihilates an enemy army. Its sun characteristic is reflected in its activation like rays of heat from the sun. Gawain tosses the sword into the air where the pseudo-sun inside creates a miniature sun before landing back in his grasp. While the sun floats overhead, he generates a large magic circle with a sun symbol in the center under him as he draws the sword behind his back. With a motion like drawing a sword, the pseudo-sun, and the energy put into it, the attack extends as far as it is possible to visualize the blade of the sword, around 13 kilometers or so, like its prototype, Calidbalg. He unleashes a horizontal slash of flame that pierces through the enemy and erupts into a giant ball of fire that engulfs them. However, it has also been shown possible to employ a vertical slash and thrusting variation, indicating it is not limited to its standard horizontal, wave-like attack. Your will. My holy sword is the embodiment of the sun. Under the king's command, I will burn all on the surface to the ground. The blade of this holy sword is a copy of the sun itself. Holy sword of the stars, swing once again. Excalibur Galatine. Saber, Fate/Extra. This sword is a reflection of the sun. Let me collect your debts. Excalibur Galatine. Before this brilliance that sets aside the night, pay your ostentation to the holy sword of the stars. Excalibur Galatine. Saber, Fate/Extra CCC. Holy sword, drawing. This sword transfers the sun's body. The heat of these flames shall cleanse the impure. Excalibur Galatine. Saber, Fate/Grandorder. Excalibur Galatine is a legendary sword in Arthurian mythology. It is one of the two swords that, according to some stories, were attributed to King Arthur, the other being the legendary Excalibur. The Galatine sword is usually described as having a shining white blade, with a golden or silver handle and an adorned hilt. It is believed to possess magical powers, such as the ability to cut through armor and magical protections. According to legend, the Galatine sword was given to the knight Sir Gawain by the fairy Morgana Le Fay, sister of King Arthur. It is said to have been forged from the same metal as the legendary Excalibur, and was as powerful as it. In some versions of the Arthurian legend, the Galatine sword was used by Sir Gawain in battle against the Green Knight and in other important battles. There are also some stories that suggest the Galatine sword was left by Sir Gawain for his son, Jingalain, and was later recovered by other knights after Jingalain's death. In summary, Excalibur Galatine is a legendary sword in Arthurian mythology, known for its shining blade and magical powers. It is often associated with the knight Sir Gawain and is considered one of the most powerful swords of the time. Fairy Sword Galatine. Fairy Sword Galatine is the sword carried by Barghest in the British Lost Belt. While it resembles Excalibur Galatine, it isn't a true holy sword. It is just one of Barghest's modified horns. Black Dog Galatine. Black Dog Galatine, predatory horn of the sun, is the noble phantasm of Barghest. An enormous blow using a blazing horn, the Fairy Sword Galatine. The horns on Barghest's forehead are antennae that restrain her St. Graf's growth, and by pulling these out, Barghest's sense of reason disappears and her instinct that is left behind becomes the sole driving force for her body. Having pulled her horns out, Barghest returns to her ancestral state where her fairy body clad in black flames enlarges and she smashes Galatine down on the enemy camp. The blazing flames rising from the ground could be seen as the fangs of a predator that is chewing up the enemy. Dumbbell antenna, bared. Oh, goo. Sacred sword, disgraced. Black Dog Galatine. Fairy Knight Gawain. I shall show you my true form. Proper human history, you are nothing. Your diminutiveness and weakness knows no limits. You aren't even a stain in my sword. Barghest, Stage 2. This sword is the proof of the law. The geothermal castle walls that correct any injustice. Kneel. Black Dog Galatine. Barghest, Stage 3. In the Type Moon universe, Black Dog Galatine is a powerful sword that belongs to the servant, Saber Alter, who appears in the game Fate/Grand Order. In the game, Saber Alter is an alternate version of the character Artoria Pendragon, also known as King Arthur, who was corrupted by dark magic and became a dark version of herself. Black Dog Galatine is her noble phantasm, a special weapon or ability possessed by servants that represents their legend and allows them to unleash their full power. Black Dog Galatine is a dark, shadowy version of the legendary sword Galatine, which is associated with King Arthur's legend. It is described as a cursed sword that brings destruction and chaos wherever it is used. When Saber Alter wields this, if you want to support me, check out my Patreon at https://www.patreon.com/Kayashin. I tend to polls that decide important plot stuff in my P at Trian. Many thanks to my awesome patrons. Ben Phillips.
If you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later, bye bye.